Robert Redford, born Charles. Robert Redford Jr. on August 18, 1936 in Santa Monica, California, is an American icon whose name is synonymous with Hollywood's golden age, independent filmmaking, and environmental activism. At 88 years old, he remains a towering figure, celebrated for his roles in films like Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, 1969, The Sting, 1973, and All the President's Men, 1976, as well as his Oscar-winning directorial debut, Ordinary People, 1980. Beyond his on-screen charisma and behind-the-camera brilliance, Redford is the founder of the Sundance Institute and Film Festival, a platform that has revolutionized independent cinema. His marriages to Lola Van Wagenen, 1958 to 1985, and Sybil Sagers, 2009 to present, along with his 4 children, Scott, Shauna, James, and Amy, paint a picture of a man whose personal life is as complex as his professional one. Yet, beneath the accolades and public adoration lies a man who has carried profound sorrows, faced career challenges, and strived for meaning in both art and life. This essay explores the depths of Redford's journey, from his deepest regrets to his enduring legacy, weaving together the triumphs and trials that define him. The greatest sadness in Robert Redford's life is not a singular event, but a tapestry of personal losses and regrets, with the death of his infant son, Scott Anthony Redford, in 1959, standing as the most heartrending. At just 21 years old, Redford and his first wife, Lola Van Wagenen, welcomed Scott, their first child, only to lose him to sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, at 2.5 months old. The tragedy struck at a time when Redford was a struggling actor in New York, grappling with the uncertainties of his fledgling career. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he reflected on this loss in a 2017 Esquire interview, describing the trauma of losing a child when he and Lola were just starting our lives. The pain of Scott's death was not something Redford often discussed publicly, but it left an indelible mark, shaping his perspective on life and family. He once said that the loss made him acutely aware of life's fragility, a realization that haunted him through subsequent challenges. This sorrow was compounded by other losses, including the death of his mother, Martha Hart Redford, in 1955 when he was 18, and the passing of his son James in 2020 from liver cancer. His mother's sudden death from septicemia, a bacterial infection, robbed him of the one person who believed unconditionally in his potential, leaving him adrift in his youth. James's death, after years of health struggles including liver transplants, was another blow, as Redford had worked closely with him at the Redford Center, their shared passion for environmental filmmaking deepening their bond. These losses, woven together, created a persistent undercurrent of grief, a sense that no amount of professional success could fully shield him from personal tragedy. Redford's regret over not being able to protect his loved ones, coupled with the guilt of prioritizing his career during critical moments, forms the core of his deepest sadness, a wound he carried quietly behind his stoic exterior. Beyond these personal tragedies, Redford's sadness also stems from a lifelong struggle to balance his public persona with his private self. As a Hollywood heartthrob, he was often reduced to his looks, a label he found frustrating. In a 2013 New York Magazine interview, he admitted to resenting being seen as just another pretty face, a perception that belittled his ambitions as an artist. This external pressure clashed with his internal desire for authenticity, leading to moments of isolation. He once described feeling lost after his divorce from Lola in 1985, a period when he questioned whether his pursuit of fame had cost him the stability of his family. The cumulative weight of these experiences, losing Scott, his mother, and James, alongside the strain of public scrutiny, created a profound melancholy. Redford's ability to channel this pain into his work, particularly in roles that explored loss and redemption, is a testament to his resilience, but it also underscores the depth of his sorrow, a quiet burden he carried through decades of acclaim. Redford's career is a remarkable odyssey, spanning over 6 decades and encompassing acting, directing, producing, and philanthropy, with successes that have cemented his status as a Hollywood legend and failures that tested his resolve. His journey began in the late 1950s, when, after a period of aimless wandering in Europe studying art, he enrolled at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. His Broadway debut in Tall Story, 1959, marked the start of his acting career, but it was his role as Paul Bratter in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, 1963, that brought him critical acclaim. The play's success led to his film debut in War Hunt, 1962, followed by a string of television appearances on shows like. Redford's directorial career is equally illustrious. His debut, Ordinary People, 1980, a poignant family drama, won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, a remarkable achievement for a first-time filmmaker. The film's exploration of grief and dysfunction resonated deeply with audiences, reflecting Redford's own experiences with loss. He followed with A River Runs Through It, 1992, a lyrical adaptation of Norman Maclean's novella, and Quiz Show, 1994, which earned 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director. These films showcased his ability to craft emotionally rich narratives, earning him praise as a director who could balance artistry with accessibility. His establishment of the Sundance Institute in 1981 and the Sundance Film Festival transformed the landscape of independent cinema, providing a platform for filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino and Steven Soderbergh. Sundance became a cultural institution, reflecting Redford's commitment to nurturing new voices, a legacy he considers among his proudest achievements. However, Redford's career was not without setbacks. In the mid-1960s, he appeared in several forgettable films, such as Situation Hopeless, But Not Serious, 1965, which failed to showcase his talent. His reluctance to embrace Hollywood's star system led to missed opportunities, such as turning down the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather, 1972. Some of his directorial efforts, like The Milagro Beanfield War, 1988, and Lions for Lambs, 2007, received mixed reviews, with critics noting their uneven pacing or didactic tone. Redford himself admitted to struggling with Lions for Lambs, a political drama that failed to connect with audiences despite its timely themes. His decision to retire from acting after The Old Man and the Gun, 2018, was met with skepticism, as he later expressed regret over announcing it, hinting at an internal conflict about leaving the craft that defined him. These failures, though overshadowed by his successes, were deeply personal. Redford once described crying alone in his Utah home after reading harsh reviews of Lions for Lambs, feeling that he had let down his cast and crew. The pressure to maintain his reputation as a serious filmmaker, coupled with the physical and emotional toll of long shoots, often left him exhausted. His efforts to secure funding for Sundance in its early years were another source of strain, as he faced skepticism from investors who doubted the viability of independent film. These moments of doubt and rejection pushed him to the brink, but his resilience and belief in his vision kept him moving forward, even when the weight of failure felt overwhelming. The achievements Redford has strived for reflect his desire to leave a lasting impact on art, society, and the environment. From the outset, he aimed to be more than a matinee idol, seeking roles that challenged stereotypes and told meaningful stories. His performance in The Candidate, 1972, a sharp political satire, showcased his ability to portray complex, flawed characters, earning him praise for his subtlety. He pursued similar depth in Out of Africa, 1985, where his portrayal of Dennis Finch Hatton opposite Meryl Streep added emotional nuance to a sweeping epic. As a director, Redford sought to create films that provoked thought and fostered empathy. Ordinary People was a personal triumph, as he fought to adapt Judith Guest's novel, despite studio doubts, believing its exploration of grief would resonate universally. His dedication to authenticity was evident in A River Runs Through It, where he spent months researching Montana's fly fishing culture to capture its spiritual essence. These projects were not just professional milestones, but personal crusades, driven by his need to express truths about the human condition. The creation of the Sundance Institute was perhaps Redford's most ambitious goal. Inspired by his frustration with Hollywood's focus on blockbusters in the late 1970s, he envisioned a space where independent filmmakers could thrive. He invested his own money and time, purchasing land in Utah to build the Sundance Mountain Resort, which became the festival's home. The Institute's workshops and festival have launched countless careers, with films like Reservoir Dogs, 1992, and Whiplash, 2014, gaining global recognition after premiering at Sundance. Redford's commitment to this vision was unwavering, even when financial struggles threatened its survival. He once recalled staying up all night drafting grant proposals, tears streaming down his face as he feared Sundance might collapse. His environmental activism is another cornerstone of his legacy. As a trustee of the Natural Resources Defense Council and a vocal advocate for climate change action, he has used his platform to raise awareness, narrating documentaries like Sacred Planet, 2004, and supporting initiatives like the Redford Center, co-founded with his son James. The Yees.